If you're like me and have a room in your home that has a large opening with windows that faces west, and the afternoon sun really heats up the room, which in turn increases your cooling costs, then you're definitely going to want to watch this video for a solution to that problem. I did try putting ceramic tint on these windows that rejects infrared and ultraviolet light. I took the time to tint every one of these slats, and it did make a huge difference. You can stand in front and you don't feel the heat on you anymore. The only problem is the tint gets hot. And then when the tint gets hot, the glass gets hot. And then when the glass gets hot, it heats the air up on the inside of the window, and that makes the room get hot. It's much, much better than it used to be. It takes a while for the room to get hot before it got hot fairly quick. But I want to really eliminate that heating issue. So there is one thing that you can do, and I'm going to take you outside, show you what it is, and explain how to put it in. Right here you can see each one of the jalousie windows, excellent condition, and you can see how I tinted each one of those slats. So what I'm going to be doing is above my hurricane panel track, the F track there, and just above the track at the bottom, I want to have a motorized screen that comes down to protect those windows from the afternoon sun. It's going to be remote controlled and resistant to the wind. Right here's the valance I'll be using. It's extruded aluminum. It's made by Smartwings. The company makes every kind of window treatment for inside or outside of your home. So this is extruded aluminum. Pretty heavy, good weight. It weighs around 20-25 pounds. It's designed to be mounted inside of an opening on top, or it can be mounted on the outside of an opening. In my case, it's going to be mounted on the outside. When you purchase this, it comes in a dark bronze or brown finish. If you want it white, you have to put a little notation when you're ordering it online that says, please paint housing white. And they will do it included in the price for you, so you can have the white housing. Let me show you everything that's included. You get this template, which I'll show you in a minute. It's going to make it easy for you to install that valance. There's a charging cable that goes to a solar panel that's going to mount on the wall to keep the battery inside that motorized valance fully charged. Remote control, there are different styles. This one here is just your basic remote control. I believe it can control up to 5 or 15. It's either 5 or 15 different window openings. Right here is, looks like an AC adapter for charging. Yep. Right here you have these two clips which bolt to the wall. They connect to this cable. The cable goes all the way to the valance on each side, and the lower rail of the solar shade is connected to this cable. It's going to slide up and down the cable, keeping the solar shade from flopping in and out from the wall in the event of wind. 2 of those, 2 of these. They also include mounting screws, which I'm not going to be using. I'm going to be using 1 3/4 inch Tapcons because I'll be bolting into concrete block. If you're bolting into a wood frame home, try and find out where the 2x6 studs are on the outside wall. Make sure you put these mounting clips into those studs through the siding. 4 of these mounting clips, spring loaded. I'll show you how they connect onto the back. This is for mounting the cable to the top of the valance. And then you have instruction manuals here, programming guide, and it also tells you in these manuals how you can adjust the up limit and down limit for the solar shade once it's installed. So if it doesn't go down enough, you can adjust that. If it goes down too much, you can adjust it back up. Mounting the valance is very simple using the included template. You're going to take the strip of paper that's included with the line running down the center, center it on your valance. You can see it's about 3/4 of an inch to 1 inch in on each end. You're then going to evenly space your clips. In my case, this mounts in front of the opening, not inside the opening. An inside mount, the clips would be used on top. When this piece of paper is held flush to the bottom of the valance, going upright like this, that line is going to bring you to the top screw hole. In my case, each one of these is 32.5 inches apart. On the rear side of this template is double stick adhesive to allow you to position this in the correct location above your window. To screw this into my concrete block home, instead of using the included plastic anchors, I'm going to be using 1 3/4 inch Tapcons that are painted white. Now that the template is ready, I'm going to position it centered on that opening of the windows, 1 inch above the F-track. So let me get that on there. It has the double stick tape. I'll position it, and then we'll go to the next step. Okay, the template is now exactly where I need it. I have painter's tape that's 1 inch wide. That's my spacer. I'm going to take the 4-foot level, hold it along the bottom edge, just to make sure that that's level. Perfect. Now I'm going to drill holes using a Tapcon bit. This is a 5/32 inch. Easy as can be when you have a good bit and a good drill. Okay, the 4 holes are drilled. I'm going to pull off the template. All right, you can see the clips are mounted. When you mount the clips, make sure the plastic tab is down. You're going to take the valance, place it up on top of the clip, hook it on, rotate it down, and then you're going to push hard against the wall as you're pushing the button in until you hear a click. The top is hooked, so with the top hooked, now you got to lock it in. It's on there. That's locked. That's not clicking yet. That clicked. No. Included is the AC adapter. You can see it's green. That's what it's going to show when the battery's fully charged after you plug this in, right over here. You want to make sure you charge it after the installation is complete. The next thing I need to do is wake up the motor because it's in sleep mode when they shipped it. So right over here where the arrow is pointing, there's a gray piece of plastic hanging down. There's a clear cover on it. There's a button there. You're going to push that button and hold it until you see the shade jog down and up. That's going to let you know it's no longer in sleep mode. Little black button. And you place this plastic cover back on. Just slide it down. Put the batteries in. There's a program button here if you ever need to reprogram. Let me try the remote pushing it down. And that's where I'd like to stop it, right above that F-track rail with the screws. They could not have made this any easier to set up. I want to go just above my hurricane panel rail. To complete the programming process, press and hold stop and down button together again. 5 seconds. That's it. Now you don't have to use them, but I'm going to be using it. This way the wind doesn't make my shade flop all around. I'm going to be installing the guide cables. This end right here using the wrench. One on each side. This is going to hang down all the way to the bottom, and I'll show you how to do the bottom. This wire does have a nice coating on it. Looks like vinyl, so you should not have any corrosion. It's going to go right over here. Take this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust the up limit to make this go a little bit lower. I want to have it end here. This way I don't have to pull these bolts out. Just let it come down a little bit lower, and this will stay straight. So let me just drop this down a hair using the same method I showed you a minute ago. Okay, the cables are secured on both sides at the valance. Let's push the button, lower it down. Those cables are going to be super tight, preventing movement with that shade in and out when the wind blows. Now you're going to pull the wire tight. When it's correctly done, this will be like this. So what I'm going to do, this is going to be mounted underneath, much lower. So later on, if I have a hurricane, I don't have to remove this. The panels can still go over. I just got to loosen the cable. So I'm going to be mounting this right there. And you don't need 2 screws for this. Just do the bottom one because it's going to be pulling upward anyway. That is solid, all right? Now this cable goes through here. And then you tighten the set screw over here. I must say the design is very good. Now I'm going to trim that off with wire cutters. Just going to cut it a little bit longer. Leave a little bit so I can always pull to make it tighter if I have to. Bend that in. And that's done on that side. Let me repeat the process on the other side. Now when the shade is down, if it's windy, it shouldn't be flopping around. One last thing to do. Over here I'm going to be installing a solar panel on that sidewall, so when the sun sets, it'll be able to put some charge into that battery. Okay, the solar panel is bolted into the wall. Now when the shade is down with the sun on it, the battery will be charging. Let's go inside, take a look outside to see how much you can see through that shade material. Okay, this is what it looks like from the inside. You can see outside still. And there is zero heat being felt on the inside. Works incredibly well. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to rate, thumbs up, and share. Thanks for watching.